Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attack Productions. Today I'm back up once again by Adam and Steve, as today we go over today's matchup, which is Vegeta taking on Goku. Like always, just buttons down below. Feel free to click them there for a reason. But let's get into it. What's going on, guys?
Hey. So, dude.
Okay, I was like very soft, like hey, and so going more further, this is an old Vegeta leader. But Spirit Boost is a Spirit Boost leader back in like set when Unisys came down, taking on Halo Coup. And I know, Adam, you played Halo Coup in this particular day in honor of Toriyama, who passed away.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, a little moment there. Okay. And like always, we are incorporating the new rules, even though I don't think they're effective until the new set comes out. But here at our locals, we like to try to get it ahead of that. So, Adam, you do have the energy marker in this particular matchup right now.
Yep. Which means I go second.
Yeah.
Which is now an advantage, it feels like. I don't have to cry as many times when I lose a die roll now.
I think it depends. I think it helps out a lot in certain matchups. Like, for example, Steve, you're very used to Gohan U7, right?
Yes.
Which awakens when you have a specific cost of 2 unison in play. So going second, you could literally just awaken turn 1 and draw like 5-6 cards very quickly. Just because you have the energy marker. And speaking Gohan U7, which deck you're very familiar with, you're playing a kind of familiar deck. Well, at least the pieces in your deck are very familiar to you, I assume.
Yeah, I don't focus too much on the skillless aspect of the Gohans there. I mainly just try to focus on Gogetas, getting those out at least by turn 2 or 2 energy, just so I could play 1-drops constantly and repetitively. That's sort of been my game plan with the Gohan leader as well, but this one, I just sort of trying to get the ball rolling with double strikes on the Gogeta unison.
Yeah, getting those ramps on there. What is it, -4, right?
Well, that and the leader on the awakened side, when he swings, he draws and gives the unison double strike.
Because he has no, because he doesn't have any. It's only when they have no keyword skills already, which he does not.
Right. So it works out when it works out. I do think I might reevaluate this list going forward. Maybe dive in a little bit more into the skillless package or something like that, because I do feel with this the newer Z energy aspect of the game now. It just didn't really put a whole lot in the Z energy. So I had just enough to get out my Z extra card you see there. And keep me afloat with explosive dance. But other than that, I couldn't really utilize the Z deck as much as I probably should have.
In some games, it varies. Adam, real quick, knowing he has that, granted, he's tapped out now, so like whatever you just start, it's free game, because his negate was Awaken Saiyan or whatever it's called, plus 5k to leader. But in normal situations, he now has the ability to proc explosive dance once he goes out of 4 life. How's where are you sitting at on that mindset now?
On my side, I'm trying to get as much advantage as possible. Anytime you go against red, you have to realize that explosive dance is probably going to happen. Fortunately for this particular leader, I get to combo from my warp once per turn, so I'm able to kind of fuel that Z deck or Z energy pretty quickly. But really, anytime that Steve has any sort of U7 leader, I'm always scared.
Yeah, and that freezes double strike, isn't it? Or like, and it negs a card out.
It does.
Yeah, like this is already a kind of a very deadly board, because it negs 20k. The freeze negs a card in play. Because the pan will automatically neg, I think, anytime you swing for your leader now, right?
It's any time that I get a boost.
Yeah.
So, yeah, pretty much. And usually that swap Frieza, that 1-drop that I use to get out that 3-drop, he also gives a boost to my leader card. So that procs my pan to draw and neg 20k once per turn. So, yeah. And that's why I play the Unending Awakenings as well. That way I can proc Pan's auto defensively.
Oh my god, I didn't even think about that part.
Yeah. So I play a few Unendings. Just to try to get it every possible chance that I get, try to fuel cards. Because, like I said, I don't really dive into the skillless package too hard in this. So I want to be able to see cards. Got to get to them. So I got to draw.
So I did just play one of the big boys, which forced me to crack my energy marker. For 4, if I don't have any battle cards in my drop area, I can play that big triple striker blocker, barrier, deflect for 4. And then when I do, I basically get to KO a number of, or maybe bottom deck, a number of things equal to the amount of extras that I have in my drop, which with my halos, it adds up real quick.
I mean, with knowing how red is so good dropping cards out, really, for practically 1 to no energy. It's like, for Grant, he got Whis out, use Whis effect for free. Hey, we got to Pan out now again. Now, Pan won't neg out to Goku because Goku's barrier, but like, he's not using a lot of resources to just play these cards. So having that barrier blocker for that, like, 1 powerful attack, in this case, probably the unison attack, is very important.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, that Kai there also has barrier too, so I couldn't even neg it out.
Wahaha.
This is an interesting tech, because it blinks the Vegeta skills, but you're just getting the extra attack with Vegeta right now.
Yes.
And
I think that's how I ended up proccing Pan on that turn, because I didn't have any other way of boosting one of my cards' battle power other than that Vegeta, and I had the energy to use it, so I went ahead and just did it that way. That way I could draw a card.
Gotcha. Now it's been a bit, but that's the floodgate, the gate that you just played, right?
It is correct. Yeah, it's kind of the poor man's Android 17.
Yeah.
Anything 5 or less, if he swings with it, which a lot of his cards are low to the ground, then he has to bottom deck 1 from hand.
All but 4 cards are below 5 or less, so that's pretty good cards.
And if I recall correctly, this Goku does not have unique, right?
It does not.
So
no.
I mean, like, you're in a position where, because it resends, I think it resends the energy and itself at the end of your turn, right?
It does, yeah. It's and it's a 30k blocker, yeah, that restands 1.
Majin Buu's not a bad second go-to either, though.
Right. Kind of the same thing. But this one's only a double striker instead of triple.
But like, you're at the point where the end of every turn now, you're for sure restanding 2 energy. You're blue, so blue gets that great advantage.
Yeah.
Next turn, if you can survive Steve's onslaught, which you have 2 blockers, and a card that you're using also can get rid of a battle card by using a -1 effect. Steve's looking at potentially another 6-drop Goku coming out your way.
Yep. And this, if anybody ever plays Halo Coup, if you don't get that activate battle every single turn, both yours and your opponent's turn, that warp starts to fill up real quick, and you have to make sure that you get cards out of that warp back into your drop so you can utilize those Angel Halos for some of your other card effects. So I found myself a couple of times like negating things, and I was like, dang it, I should have let it go through and just comboed.
Because it combos 2 cards from the warp, right?
It does, yeah, but it minuses 3k the combo power, so it's only a total of 4k.
And with Explosive Dance on the board, getting out those high battle powered cards to combo with and put them in your Z energy can help you make more attacks down the road when Steve negates with the Explosive Dance card.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, and where I don't combo a whole lot with this deck, that's not something I really remembered about Halo Coup. So, yeah. I'm swinging double strike with my unison every turn, but it's 15k unless I'm -4 on it. So,
but a lot of times the way you look at it for future reference, in case this wasn't the match, getting out that initial attack and possibly forcing your opponent to proc that ability on that first attack benefits you more on the additional attacks you have to do. Now, granted, you are floodgated right now by that 3-drop negate that I think you just popped off. You negated it. Actually, you negged it out. But if you can force him to use that ability earlier on the attacks you want to hit, or the attacks that are important, then because then he has to use cards from his hand to avoid whatever it may be. In this case, I think a double strike, which he -1, which is the best choice.
Thank you.
And also, you can always go the route, Steve, for reference, especially in this particular matchup. Your Unison's a double strike. Combo 1 card off just to remove 2 markers from his Unison. And here you are swinging towards the Unison, but he has Dimension Magic, which is it's blue. So I mean, he should see a lot of his cards by now that are important. And granted, we are using the new Mulligan rule as well. So like, I think both of you guys kept your hands.
Yeah.
So like, at this point, it's literally just RNG. What are you drawing into? Because I don't think either one of you guys have much when it comes to searching. Except for you have the Kai that you played earlier that does this. Oh, he pulls Halos out.
Pulls Angel Halos, yeah, and that's a really interesting aspect of deck building with a very restrictive deck like Halo Coup, because you have, if there's anything in your drop that's not another World Budokai, then your big 30k triple striker is, it costs 6. So, I think I only have one of the Android 17s. I think I've got one SS Rose Goku Black. So and then I've got a couple of the Crimson Gokus, the pay 3 to block, and they got to swing at that before they can swing at my leader. But try to keep things pretty light on the other cards.
What's great about this particular card is that it combos a card for you, and I think it's dual attack as well. So like, you could really have just comboed. You could have put any card into the drop to maximize that ability. Now here, if you want to continue attacking, that works. There you go. Yeah, that's a great turn. I didn't even think about how well Halo Coup gets around Explosive Dance.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things, it's a deck you don't normally see anymore. And like, you wanted to bring it out as kind of tribute, and we're able to see unique interactions like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Steve,
it took me off guard.
I was also going to say, Steve, you lost your entire board. How are you feeling right now?
I think that's the second time I've lost my entire board, at least.
Yes.
I don't feel good about it, especially now. I'm for sure realizing that he can control the attack phase through Explosive Dance pretty easily, and his hand is just immaculate right now. Yeah, I know I'm probably getting low because I've went through all my top 5 searches for the most part, so I'm just banking off of the next top deck draw with this leader swing.
Also, I just want to point out real quick, forcing him to use the -1 on what was initially a free interaction for you is amazing.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Because he used Vegeta to play the 1-drop and immediately freed swapped into the other form.
Yeah, I did play with kind of speaking about the hand size currently. I did play against Nick, who was playing Hand Destruction, and it's surprising how long I lasted in that match, because if I ditch an Angel Halo, I can basically get it back for free during my turn. So it does help with that Hand Destruction a little bit, but it's a really fun deck. I think it's with a couple more reps, I think it could be something that I really lean into.
Oh yeah, I guess it, but also like your leader allows you to cycle cards back into the combo area. So even if because you mentioned Nick was playing hand control, like, and he was using the Bardock units, and like you're able to bypass that to some degree because you're like, cool, I'll just activate battle combo 2 cards. Go ahead and pop 1. So I'm still gaining a combo off this.
Right. Yeah.
And you picked a good deck, I feel like, to kind of combat what you saw this past weekend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was not expecting it to work as well with Explosive Dance, but the more that I realized, I'm putting stuff in my combo area every single turn, I could just cycle out the big guys, put it into my Z, and continue to swing.
We do see
Sorry, Steve.
Steve is getting ready for a big attack next turn, though, if you're not careful. 'Cause I think that for 3 energy, I think it is, you play the trios underneath your unison, and isn't it a triple attack?
So it is a triple attack. It's a spirit boost and 3 energy, I believe, or something. Maybe it's 2 different effects. I can't remember, but you get it out there, and I think it negs all the opponent's battle cards and is a triple attack. I don't remember pulling it off at all last weekend, so I will say Adam is very good at going after my unison because he knows I'm really good at going after him with my unison.
Well,
Right.
It's one of those, like I said, he knows what's underneath it now. Like, it is literally, he needs to get rid of it. And at this point, you're showing him that you don't have a negate using Spirit Boost. So, with Spirit Boost, wait, hang on.
So he has, the leader actually has a Spirit Boost negate effect. When my opponent targets my unison for battle, I can negate the attack and give my unison 6k for the turn.
That's what it is. It's a leader. It's an auto on the leader. That's right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And in the last 2.5 years, that's the first time I've ever used.
I mean, in this particular matchup, you are relying on this unison to stay alive.
Yep.
Well, and there's that interesting thing about playing a specific deck for a long period of time, because you get used to those lines of play and you don't remember those things that you haven't used, over and over and over again in repetition.
Yep. I'll definitely keep trying this Vegeta out. I do think there's got to be something else that I can incorporate, a different line of play or something like that to really utilize this guy properly. Probably look back into the Kava unison that's actually meant for the deck.
Actually, I looked into it. The only thing I think that occurs is that when you awaken, you give the Kava a marker, and then Kava itself doesn't really do much for the Vegeta deck. Like, it has ways of negging a card, I think a battle card unison by 10k. I think Gogeta route is a better route for you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for 2 red, I can't think of another unison that's a better choice in any red deck.
Yeah.
Just being able to play a 1-drop for free and they get their effects off. Thank you.
Yeah.
Now I could run the 3-drop Vegeta Spirit Mentor to get the Kava out. 3 energy.
Hang on. I get that you're trying to get rid of that card, but man, 3 super combos.
Oh, my face lit up when he did that. I was like, okay, I think that there's going to be a chance for me to put some pressure on next turn.
Yeah. No, at that point, I knew that you were going to put some pressure on me either way. So
I want to point out real quick, I've seen Adam's hand like 3 times. You have 4 different negates in your hand. So, like,
it's blue.
And one is Baby Hatch. But,
yeah.
Like, you're ready if because like he's barely used any energy for starters, and he's already gotten you to block of a card, got rid of your big negate. Like, granted, you can still negate for if you want to take life, or you can just use Hatch. But yeah, he's with the amount of energy he has. I don't know how many cards in his Z deck, but he's slowly pushing to a point where, like, if you're not careful and you let a wrong attack go through, you're screwed.
Well, yeah, and I even closed my eyes and I was like, oh, what does SSB Vegeta do? I couldn't remember if it was like 2 or less life, or if it just killed the life.
You have to hatch this one. Yeah. And then activating it's battle or main. So activating its main to pretty much clear your whole board, and then you placing a card from your life to your drop.
And
which does now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, which does now put that Goku.
Hang on, what is happening real quick? Why is there an extra attack going through? Why did you attack one more time?
Wait, what?
He baby hatched you.
What did I swing with?
Gohan?
The Gohan. Well, I mean, if I'm not
How did you let that happen?
if I'm not paying one for Baby Hatch, I'm letting another attack go through. I just cannot get him right.
Are you sure that's what happened?
Yeah, you just come with 3 cards off.
Yeah.
Try it, and he used Activate Battle finally on his leader's skill to get a that. Okay, it happens. All right, so we got Explosive Dance on the board. Adam has a 30k, a 10k, and I think a 15k in his Z energy right now. So you do have ways of making attacks. You're sitting at 4 attacks you need to go through though.
Yeah.
Or sorry, 4 life you have to go through.
4 life to go through. Correct. Yep.
So you got 1 out of the way.
And then I pay 6 for another blitz.
Yeah, that's. This is yep. And we saw no negates, and he. Yeah, I mean, we saw it happen.
What a fun game.
I don't think before we end this, I don't think that extra attack you did would have made much of a difference. So we're gonna keep this video in there. But thank you for tuning in. Keep minus buttons down below. Like always, click them if you want to. But yeah, bye.